So I want to challenge the notion that we should be compensating our sales talent with a 50% base and a 50% OTE. I'll start with a story. In 2009, I was running a sales team, and we were 32. We were based out of New York, and I pretty much exclusively hired people from New Jersey. They were tough. You've seen Jersey Shore, I'm assuming. Okay. They were tough, they were hard, and they loved commission. At the end of the month, I would take out a stack of $100 bills, I would put it on the bell, and that bell would ring and they would hit their targets. And I thought, this is perfect. I found a way to motivate them. But we are 10 years on now, and I think the world has changed and sales talent has improved. And I think commission is still a way to motivate, but I think it's a short-term way to motivate. So there are really two things I want to do today. One is explain the research that we did, and I think secondly, try and give you some actionable insights on what really matters to motivate all of the sales talent that we're working with. So the research we did, it was a fairly simple survey. We asked for what your base salary was, what your OTE is, and what stage the company is. And the findings were, actually in some ways the findings weren't that surprising. It confirmed that for account execs and for the VP of sales or for the heads of sales, we're basically 55% base, 45% on the OTE. For customer success and for the SDRs, 67%, which was a little bit higher than I thought. But then there were two other data points that really surprised me. The second was we looked at our own platform. We've got 14,000 candidates who've signed up, and they share a lot of data with us. And we found that, the last 12 months, we took 500. Only 50% had reached their quota. And we speak to a couple of hundred candidates every week. And it's typically the same conversation. SDR wants to become account exec wants to become team lead, head of sales, CRO. Those are the typical conversations we have. And I'm always struck by the fact that they're working for fantastic unicorn companies, amazing offices, amazing career progression, yet they still want to move. So why is this? So think about yourselves, most of you here, in your 20s and 30s. You're living in London, one of the most expensive cities in the world, yet you're paid a fixed salary and the other 50% expected to get on your OTE. When you go to that estate agent, when you're buying that house, they don't look at your commission, they discount your commission. All they look at is your base salary. So that's why these conversations are happening in terms of, extra 2K, extra 5K. And I think for you as founders, as companies, as heads of sales, I think you actually have an opportunity here. Firstly, I think from a retention point of view, I think what your employees want is a predictable career progression. So why don't you tell them 6 months out what they could be earning on their base? We're scared to do that because we're making promises. But that's actually what they want, is they want to know what they could be earning. The commission part is still a great motivator. But I think it leads to short-term gains. It's distortionary because then what happens is your sales team start to sell what's good for them and not good for the customer. And I think many of us have quite long sales cycles. That's the reality of it. These sales now are very consultative. As we've heard before, 1 out of 2 of the customers already know if they're going to buy or not. So I guess this is some way, as a recruiter, and me saying you should be paying more base salary is going to sound a bit empty. But these are the conversations we're having, and I truly mean this from a retention point of view, so you don't have to use us, and from an attraction point of view. Adding 2K onto a base opens up a whole new set of candidates for you. So look, I'm gonna leave you with this, is I think there are other factors that can motivate all of the sales talent. And I think it was Karen who mentioned some of these things. What's the leadership? What's the training? What's the company culture? What's the office like? Office location is massive, by the way. If it's not in East London, Brixton is the only place that I think a crew are there and stuff, and that works and stuff. But if you're in even central or West London, forget about it. Absolutely forget about it. We have a nightmare trying to recruit people there. So all of these factors really, really matter. So I think whilst commission does work short term, I think long term, we're all trying to build companies that are going to stand the test of time. So I think we need to rethink how we're compensating our sales talent. Thank you so much. We have a booth here, we have t-shirts, so come and say hi.